if you're looking for a reliable charging station, UL certified with a real-time display, which can show you how much each device is actually pulling, the Sabrent VOLTIK charging station is actually worth checking out. I will show you how it works, what I noticed after testing it for a while, and whether it's worth your investment or not. And real quick before we get into it, this video is not sponsored, however, seller did provide me this product so I can test it out and share it with you. Okay, let's get into it. Here's the thing, when you plug your phone into regular charging plug or any plug really, a little light comes on, maybe, and then you just kind of assume that everything is fine. You assume it's charging, you assume it's actually fast charging, and you assume it's doing something, but you don't actually know. You don't know how much power is going into that device. You don't know if that port is doing more than another one. And if something feels slow, you're just kind of guessing. And I have had that happens to me before, where I could plug on my phone right before the bed, and then when I wake up in the morning, it's still 40%. I'm like, what? What just happened? I don't know. There's no information, there's no light. So this is a Sabrent VOLTIK charging station, and the reason I wanted to test it out is it's this specific screen. It also has 8 ports desktop charging station, and you can also get USB-C and USB-A ports in one unit. And the listing says it has 252 watts total output, and it comes with 100 watts on the USB-C port, and it comes with 18 watts on USB-A ports, and depending really on what you're charging. So you can charge a phone, you can charge your tablet, earbuds, laptop, even like a camera batteries, kind of like basically everything, it's all in one place. And instead of having like little plugs everywhere and cables going in every single direction. But the reason why I love this charging station, because it has a display. So when you actually plug in something, you can actually see the charging information. You can cycle through like each port and see the wattage, the voltage, the amperage, and what each device is actually pulling. So if I plug in my phone here, I can actually see what it's doing. And if I add another device, I can check that one too. And if something is charging like slower than I expected, I can actually look right here and figure it out what's happening instead of just waiting and hoping. And I also want to mention something because I think this is really matters. So this station is UL certified, and that means that it went through some real safety testing. So it has protection for overcharging, overheating, some short circuits, overcurrent. So when you're charging in your like phone or new laptop or any new expensive device, you not just plug it into wherever plug-in, right? You don't want to just cross your fingers. You really want to trust the device. And I would also double check your exact listing and packaging on this one. But this one of the things I personally look for, because a cheaper option is usually fine for some things. But if you're charging expensive devices every single day, I actually feel better using something that has real certification behind it. Now let me tell you where I think this one belongs. So obvious, it could be on your desk or somewhere in your home office, because phone, tablets, earbuds, laptops, camera batteries, those can pile up like super quick. And then having one hub instead of 5 different plugs just makes the space feels cleaner. Another place where you can put it, I think, is a garage, because if you have some small rechargeable tools, maybe some flashlights, maybe batteries, or different little type of electronics, if you have one station with display, that's actually a useful tool right there. And another thing I want to mention, it actually comes with the screws and mounting kit right in the box. So if you want to mount it on a wall, in your garage, or somewhere a little more hidden, you can also do that too. And you don't have to leave it sitting on a table. You can just put it up on the wall and it looks really clean right there. I think that's actually a really nice option that a lot of people might not even think about. Another place where you can also put it, something like in a dorm room. And because space is limited, and one compact charging station is much cleaner than so many different blocks everywhere. And if you have an RV or pool behind trailer or maybe a boat, I can really see how you can use something like this with display, because display really becomes very useful right there. Because in a space where you're really thinking about how much power you're using, it actually helps to see what each device is pulling, instead of just like plugging everything and hoping for the best. Now, if you're only charging something like your phone by the bed at night, you probably don't need this specific unit, but I'm sure if you look around your home, you can find places where have multiple things charging at once. So a main hub somewhere what can charge like your phone, tablet, earbuds, camera battery, wherever like you have, instead of having just like random cords all over the place and random outlets. This is just brings this one little clean hub for charging all of your devices. And another thing too, I think this could actually be really good, great gift idea. Not just a random something like, oh, I bought you a charger, but it's more like if you don't know what to get for your husband, maybe for dad, someone maybe going into dorm, or someone who just like have a lot of devices, like I'm sure we all have. This is a kind of useful gears that actually get used every day. And I think I really love that packaging is very compact and clean, and it's just gift ready right out of the box. You just need to add maybe ribbon, maybe little bow like I did right here, and you're just kind of good to go. And another thing too, it looks like it's meant for him, but you can also charge all of your stuff right there. So this is kind of motto, honestly. Get a gift for him, but then go start use it yourself. So for me, the screen is not just only something like a nice, good feature. It makes the whole thing is actually feel more useful and more trustworthy. And you can see the power, you can also see what's happening, and you're not just guessing anymore. And if you're charging multiple devices like in one spot, or you're charging more expensive tech, or you just want basically one clean, reliable hub, this one actually makes a lot of sense. And whether it's like desk, office, dorm, garage, RV, trailer, honestly, like Father's Day, something for birthday, Christmas, for somebody who's going into college, it genuinely, I think, is a practical gift that someone can actually appreciate. And if you want to know the current price of this VOLTIK charging station, you can check my link down in the description box. And if this kind of everyday home content is very helpful, just keep watching. YouTube will show you the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in my next one.